Hey guys, it's been a while since I did a tutorial video, but you're getting one. So here's a video on how to create custom destination and station signs like how I did for the outside world. And for you newcomers on my channel who keep wondering whose voice is whose for like the outside world announcements, this is my voice. This is King of Trainz talking right now. Not the one who did the announcements for the 7 or the 5 or the 1. He's helping me out. We have this partnership going. I did the announcements for the E and the W, and I have another video for outside world announcements coming out within a week or two, so look out for that. But back to the topic at hand. This video is to show you guys how to create custom destination and station signs for your own fictional maps if you have Trainz Simulator. So I don't know how long this video is gonna be. I may not edit it, but we'll see. First things first, you want to open Content Manager. So now Content Manager is open. See, what you want to do is make sure you have a copy of either Ace's destination signs or destination signs for the outside world. I don't know if Ace released his destination signs on BDC or not, but the outside world destination signs are released. And the way I created those was I cloned Ace's destination signs, recoded them, added my own textures to it, and made them the outside world destination signs. So for the sake of this video, if you want to create your own destination signs based off the New York City subway style, I would suggest cloning the outside world destination signs, and I'm going to go over all of that in a second. So these are all of my assets. Let's apply that. These are all the stuff for the outside world. Okay, so right here we have, this is like an object. So pretty much the way destination signs work in Trainz, you have the object and then you have the texture. So pretty much you need the object. That would be the physical sign that you would place on the map. But that alone won't be enough because it wouldn't have any textures to go with it. It would just be a blank sign. So that's where the textures come in. You would attach the textures to the specific sign type. And it's very complicated, but I'm going to break it down the best I can. So right here where it says outside world overhead route sign, this would be for the 2017 edition. The 2016-2017 edition, because you could see I have it separate from the 1975 edition with different signs, because this one is a different color palette. This one is white, this one is black, and I have a separate one for the PAT train in Philadelphia subway as well. So for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna go ahead and clone this. You want to make sure you clone the outside world route textures first. Okay, so now we have a clone now. This is a brand new KUID, and it would have your own author ID under it. Since you cloned it, it's yours now. So in order to make sure it's distinct from the original, open and Explorer, go to the config file, and then change the name to whatever you want. So pretty much change the name to the name of your route. So for example, let's say your route was called the Star City Transportation Authority. You would replace the word outside world with Star City, like that. You don't really have to change the description since it doesn't really matter. Leave this the way it is. And you see how the number of textures here says 179. This number is going to change once you add the specific texture files to this, but I'm going to go over that later again. And also this right here, textures 1, this is going to change as well, since I'm going to clone the texture files. Of course, remember, the texture is different from the physical sign itself, and it sounds complicated, but I swear I'll go through all of it. Let's leave this open for now. We're not gonna commit it yet. So then we're gonna go back to the outside world list. Looks like the video stopped. I don't know where I left off, but anyways, I cloned the texture file. So now, wait, give me a sec. Yeah, so we're here. We pretty much cloned the texture file. So now we're going to do the same thing we did with the route sign. Open it. And see this right here, these are the image files and the texture files. This is very important. You're going to want to rename these to whatever you want, because when I double click it, this is what it would look like in pretty much any image viewer. And this texture right under it, it's named the same, except it has dot texture. And this is what the code would look like. It says primary equals, and then it's supposed to reference the image file, since the image is a BMP file. Make sure the image is a BMP file. But I'm gonna, I hope I'm not confusing you guys. If you're confused, leave a comment. And since this is the clone file, we're gonna rename this to Star City. . 5, 2, Van Sinderen dot texture, since that's what it shows on this side. And we're gonna go ahead and delete this since we're not working with that right now. And we're gonna make sure the first one is always 0. Make sure the first one is 0. 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now, let's say this is the Star City Transportation Authority, and you're only working with 5 signs, hypothetically. Let's say the trains you have are the 1 train, the A train, the W train, the 9 train, and the U train, for the sake of this. And let's say the 1 train is going to Star Terminal, and this is a northbound train. Let's say the A train is going to Bryan Road, and this is a southbound train. Let's say the W train is going to Laptop Avenue. Again, a northbound train to Laptop Avenue. And let's say the 9 train is also going to Star Terminal, but it's going the opposite direction of the one. It's going southbound. And the U train, let's say that's going to the Universe. And this is a shuttle. The U train is a shuttle. So it goes one way or the other. Both ways are the Universe. You want to make sure these align with this and vice versa. So this is already 1. So we're going to put Star Terminal. Make sure it's in between the 2 lines under, and northbound or southbound is at the end, with the exception of this. Since this is the A train, we're going to replace this with A. Brighton Road. W. Laptop Ave. 9. Star Terminal. And the U, the Universe. I don't think capitalization matters, but make sure you're putting the exact words here. Make sure they match with this right here. And you have to open it up and make sure that matches with the image as well. Otherwise, the game won't recognize the code and you'll get an error. So now we save this. And for the sake of this, let's open this texture for 1 Belmont northbound that we replaced. Since that's the first one, we're gonna do Star Terminal. Make sure it's spelled the exact same way as it is in this config. Star Terminal northbound. Close this, and then you're going to rename the file Star Terminal. Don't worry about it shifting, it'll all work out in the end. And make sure you do the same for the image file as well. Star Terminal. So now they're matching. The BMP file says start terminal, and when you click on it, it links towards that BMP file. If you don't do that, then it'll link to something else. You'll give you an error. The next one, we replaced the 1 Belmont southbound with A Brighton Road southbound. So we're going to do that. And then you just repeat for every single one of them. And if you have a large route like the outside world, you can only imagine how long that takes. Okay. Do. Always save. Always save. And make sure texture is always at the end. Dot texture, make sure you always have that. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Save, and as you can see, we only have one more left, 2 to Van Sinderen. And that, of course, is the U train to the universe. Okay. And that is that. So you don't have to open this config file anymore, so you just save, close. Whoops. So now you have your textures, but as you already know, I didn't repaint them yet. I have to repaint them to what I want them to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click, go to edit. And as you can see, we're inside of Microsoft Paint, which is very useful. I love using Microsoft Paint. Since this is the one train to start terminal, this is where more of the creativity comes in rather than the engineering and science behind it. Coding, computer science. So we'll get rid of the old text and we'll be creative. So if you want the New York City subway style, choose the Helvetica font. Make sure you choose the correct fonts, the correct word size. Well, the font size. And this is where knowing your route is important, so you know the correct language to use. I can't find the words, forgive me, I haven't eaten. Take. And if you don't have the New York City subway bullets, which I'll show you right now, it's a font. So as you can see, I can generate anything I want in the New York City bullet sign. And if you want to change the color, just do that. But let's say you don't have this font, which I wouldn't expect you to since it's a rare font. You just use your creative juices, you know? Think outside of the box. And you can choose any font you want. Or even if you, let's say you have Helvetica, just make sure you, oh, nope, too big. Trust me when I tell you, you have to go through trial and error before you get any major results. Even though it doesn't look like the real thing, you can still tell this is the one train. And I did that without any special fonts. So we're gonna delete this. And let's say you want to transfer to the 9 train at late nights because the 1 train is only a daytime train in this scenario. Since the background is black and you want like this white for the number, whoops, wrong font. Right? See how it's black and the 1 is white? If you want to change that, go to select and then crop out a little piece like that, cut, and then put the 9 over it so the circle overlaps. Like that. And if you feel like the 9 is too close to the word take, you can do select, pick it up, and then drag it across like that. And then fill it up. Boom. But then again, if it's going to star terminal all times, but then late night you have to take the 9, that doesn't make sense. So we're going to remove this. And make sure your signs are logical as well, because if they don't make sense, they don't make sense. To star terminal, or if you want to add something and you forgot to add to star terminal, you could either start all over or just remember to go back to Helvetica, comma, weekdays only. Pretty much this is very subjective, so it's really depends on what you want out of your route. Just make sure it's consistent. To star terminal, weekdays only, late nights take 9. Boom. Save, close. And then when you click that, that's what you get. And since this does this in numerical then alphabetical order, you wouldn't have to worry about the order it's in right now because it'll sort itself out. As long as these two are in the same order, then you have nothing to worry about. So now we're going to edit the 9 train. If you have a preset sign like this, then you wouldn't even have to worry about doing that extra. So you cut. I forgot what size I made this. Let's make sure the color is correct. The 9 train is red, or if you want to make the 9 train blue, you can do that too. For the sake of this, let's make the 9 train green, because why not? Let's choose any green color, or if none of these default colors work, go to edit colors. You can choose literally anything, any shade. Let's choose that shade. 9. Boom. And it's funny because the original 9 train ran on Dyer Avenue back in the old days. Let's make sure this lines up. Whoops, I messed up. Okay. Let's choose size 26 font. Just so it completely covers up the original 1 sign. Voila. And this is going to star terminal. So let's just crop this. Okay, so we go back to Helvetica. Or let's say you don't have the Helvetica font either. Let's pretend none of this existed and you didn't have the Helvetica font. Choose literally any font and it'll work for you. As long as you have a creative mind, you're fine. Let's do size 10 font for this. Let's say you had Kirsten. It doesn't look too formal. Oh, this looks sick. The avatar font to Star Terminal via local. Let's say the 9 train is local, or if you want express, whatever you want. Manhattan via express. And to be honest with you, the 9 bullet is a bit too large. Since these original signs I worked with, they were quite large, so we're gonna make it smaller. It looks kind of weird. Let's leave it the way it is. So we have our 9 sign. Save. Close. Now we go to Ada Brighton Road. For this one, we're just going to completely remove this. Just because. And let's say you want to use the regular A color, that would be this right here. Add to custom colors. Okay. So you want to make, because I haven't done these in a while, so I'm not really remembering the font sizes correctly. So let's say you want size 24. Okay, that seems too big. 20 seems a perfect size for a sign like this. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to crop out some of the blackness. And that's too high. Perfect. A. So pretty much, if you did have this specific font I'm using for the bullet signs, if you wanted it to be a circle, you press shift, but if you want it to be a diamond, don't press shift. And that only, well, never mind, it works for both letters and number trains. I made this box too big, because as you can see right here, when I push it up, there's still excess marks, and when I try to fill it in later, it doesn't look right. So I'm gonna remove this and remove that and make a smaller box. A. Perfect. Perfect everything. Okay, good. So we're gonna crop this, and we're gonna use a font other than Helvetica again, just because. Let's use size 9 font. Let's use this. To Brighton Road. All times. Late nights via local. The Bronx. Via via Elmhurst Avenue. Yeah, see, when this happens, you undo, and then you make it longer. To the universe. Nah, I don't like that font. So yeah, you know what? For this, let's choose Helvetica. To the universe. Let's make it bigger for this as well. Maybe 11. No, 10. To the universe. Via Big Bang. Via Big Bang Highway. Let's remove this. Or you don't even need anything on the left side. You could leave it like this. And I will. So you save, close. Now for the W train to Laptop Avenue. You can choose the appropriate color. Again, be creative. Let's make this a diamond W because, hey, diamonds are cool. Helvetica. You can spell it out. You don't have to abbreviate it. You have plenty of space. Via Diamond Boulevard. Or if you want to add a third layer, you can too. But then you may want to make the font size smaller so it like looks good. But for this, or if you want, you can even add little words on the side to manipulate the font. Let's make this size 6. Transfer at. See, I could be pressing enter to go to the next line, but if I do that, the video will just keep pausing and continuing. So just for this video, I'm gonna leave it at that and then keep creating a new one. I know this sounds foreign talk, but you gotta bear with me. Transfer at terminal, or if you want to be fancy, terminus, for iPhone charger. Transfer at terminus for iPhone charger. Okay. Okay. And let's say we want to add something to the left side. Choose the appropriate font size. This W train is going... This W train is going to Los Santos. Via the Pulaski Skyway. Seems legit. Personally, I feel like the Y in Skyway is too close to the W bullet, so I'm gonna shift this slightly to the right. Whoa, no. Okay. There. Easy fix. Save. Close. And that's everything. So now, since we know we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 textures, we close this. And now since we already, look, see, now we're opening the physical sign itself. We created the textures now, so now we're gonna go to the physical sign. This is what it looks like with nothing on it. Config. We're gonna replace 179 with 5 since we only created 5 textures. And remember earlier I already put the correct texture KUID, and it'll be different for you. This happens to be mine because I'm the one who cloned it. Just make sure that this number at the bottom and this number are the same. Make sure this number is accurate. And if you're confused about that, go back in the video and see what you can do. Save. And then you commit both. Good, now we're gonna load trains to see what they look like. Excellent, so right here we click on objects. We're gonna type in star sit. Oh, looks like there's an error. We're gonna have to go back. We have to figure out what that error is. Oh, so there's an error in the texture file. Let's see what's wrong with that. View errors warnings. Okay, it's giving me a bit of an issue. I'm just gonna close Content Manager for now. Load it back up. Okay, this right here is a common error, and I'll just show you how to fix that right now. Edit, edit in Explorer, go back to the config file, and then right here, just delete the entire thumbnail. Save it, close, and then to check to see if the error is gone, right click, view errors warnings. See, this warning, it won't stop you. Even though it says thumbnail is missing, you'll still be able to load it up. Close it, commit. Sometimes it takes a while. See, look, now the error is gone. It just says warning, but you don't have to worry about warnings because they won't stop you from playing the content. So now we're gonna go back and launch to see how the signs look. Select route. Star City. And look at them right here. See, this is the default since it's the first one, the one train to Star City. But maybe on second thought, you should keep that blank route sign that I mentioned way earlier in the video. You should keep that and then let this be the second one, but you should have an idea of how it works now. The game froze on me. Okay, so as you can see right here, it shows routes, and then you get to select each of the 5 that we decided to do. A to Brighton Road southbound, check, check, right there. And it's very clear. The Bronx via Elmhurst Avenue, A to Brighton Road. Let's choose the W to Laptop Avenue, right there. Transfer at terminus for iPhone charger. The 9 to Star Terminal, the green 9 via Milky Way, and the U, of course, to the universe, because who wouldn't want to? And this comes in a set of 3. You can adjust the height, clicking this. You can rotate it, do whatever you want, move it around. If you want multiple of them in your station, just add more. And that's pretty much it. The rest is up to you. To all you route builders out there, I hope this video helped. And I hope you have an idea of why and how long it would take for me to do something as big as the outside world. I hope you could respect that. And for the newcomers, again, the outside world is not the New York City subway. It is based on the New York City subway. It has stations that are in the real New York City, but it's not the New York City subway. It's fictional. I have to keep explaining that in every other video. They just don't understand. I have multiple R46s. Next time I'll go over how to create route textures, but that one is going to be even more confusing and difficult, I promise you. But if you're up for it, look forward to it. Trainz out.
Baby, back up if you asthmatic. This track I have you going way back like bad habit. I heard you talking loud and clear. You ain't saying nothing.